Black Alpha Network. Power to the people.
That's our motto. We want freedom by any means necessary.
Hell, I might be anywhere, but when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
Okay, what's up, B1s, certifieds, all the Black Nation? Was really good. Here we go again, Black Alpha Network. We about to chop it up, break it down, all good game, all facts, all about us. But before you do anything else, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Go back, check out all the other videos, the whole library, everything is facts. And if it ain't already happened, I predicted what's gonna happen. So check all that out, subscribe to this channel, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Because we building this thing brick by brick by brick. As we all know, we're living in a crazy game, a crazy ass world. Particularly with us, things are always changing. Racism don't go away. It mutates, it shifts, it turns. These motherfuckers is always coming up with new shit, new bullshit. As we get on code, these motherfuckers come back with the snakes. As we get on code, these motherfuckers come back with the tricks and the con games. So therefore, we gotta always keep our eyes open. We gotta always stay focused. If you ain't evolving with this shit, then your ass is failing. You know what I mean? That's what happened to a lot of the old black folks back in the day. They walking around trying to solve 2000 plus futuristic white supremacy with 1960 tactics. You ain't gonna come at these motherfuckers today with the shit the NAACP was talking about back in 1965. Or the shit Martin Luther King was talking about back in 1967. That's why these old niggas get left behind. And it's on us. This new era, this new wave, it's on us to evolve with this shit. Stay on game. As these motherfuckers upload, nigga, we upload. As these motherfuckers come up, we come up. We change with the game. We stay one step ahead of these motherfuckers. That's how you gotta do it. Cause if not, it's just like physics. You're gonna fall behind. You know what I mean? Survival of the fittest. He who evolves survives. He doesn't, left in the fucking wind. So we gotta stay on top of that shit, and that's why we always strategizing. A lot of niggas out here, they can break shit down and they can talk and they can tell you all these fucking clever ideas, but how many motherfuckers are strategists? How many motherfuckers are strategizing? Because these white motherfuckers out here, they strategizing every day. They coming up with new words, new tricks, new cons, new attacks, all types of shit. Matter of fact, they thinking about how they gonna attack us 10 years from now, 50 years from now. Black folks are sitting here talking about 50 years ago. So when you got a white motherfucker thinking 50 years ahead and black folks is thinking 50 years behind, then exactly what happens is gonna happen. Now that shit don't happen to us because we certified. We on game. We on code. And our code is forever going up. Our code is forever going up because we strategize. We strategists. Any nigga who's talking that bullshit and ain't strategizing is failing. When you go to war, whenever any country goes to war, you got strategists. And they strategize and they come up with a plan before the soldiers even hit the field. Because that's what you gotta have. And that's the thing with black folks. We got a lot of motherfucking soldiers out here. But if these soldiers ain't got no strategy, then we ain't got nothing. So what we gonna do is we gonna break shit down. We gonna chop it up. We gonna get on some black alpha shit. We gonna strategize. And we gonna stay ready so we ain't gotta get ready. Yes, indeed. Everything changes. Everything flips. Everything turns, especially with these white motherfuckers. Because all they do is see where our minds are at. They see what kind of generation, what kind of era that they fucking with, and then they try to accommodate it. So AKA, when niggas is asleep, then they got sleep tactics. When niggas get woke, then they pull out woke tactics. The shit they doing right now is shit for niggas who's woke. See, the shit that go right now, just look at their behavior. Look at how they demonstrate. White folks act differently today than they did 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago, they were dealing with a bunch of bum ass niggas that would let them get away with anything. Because niggas was in this bitch sleeping, talking about Martin Luther King had a motherfucking dream and they all went to sleep with his ass. They can't pull that shit now because black folks is on code. So now they gotta get way more meticulous. They gotta get way more clever. They gotta get way more sophisticated. And that's good. Let the motherfuckers do what they do and we gonna do what the fuck we do. And we gonna smash on them. Guarantee you that shit. Because remember, the future is all up to us certifieds. It ain't up to the coons. It ain't up to the sellouts. It's not up to them. If you want justice and you want liberation, then I suggest every real ass nigga goes and takes the motherfucking steering wheel and starts determining our future. That's what it is, cause we ain't gonna wait on these coons. There ain't gonna be no, man, every time we try to get something, man, these fucking coons, man, they keep sabotaging us, man. Fuck that. I don't like that. I ain't good enough with that. I don't sit back and complain, nigga. I'll slap that nigga out the motherfucking seat and I'll take the motherfucking wheel. I'll be driving this motherfucker. And that's the mentality that a certified has to have. We can't have this shit where we sit back and we be reactive. You gotta be proactive. We cannot let white supremacists dictate to us, and we cannot let coons dictate to us. The problem is niggas want to be certified in their fucking head, but their bodies and their actions and their demonstrations is that of a reactionary nigga. A reactionary nigga is a beta. A proactive nigga is a black alpha. And that's what the fuck we do around here. We take the motherfucking lead and we'll fire the first shot. If you scared, nigga, sit your ass down and we'll let the real men and women run this motherfucker. Warrior class. And you can only have a warrior if you're at war. And you can only win a war if you strategize. You gotta have a military mind and you gotta strategize. Too many black folks out here is running around in a race war but ain't got no strategists. Ain't no way you ever gonna win with that mentality. I don't give a fuck who you are, Pan-African, Powernomics, power to the motherfucking people. If you ain't out here on some black strategy, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing shit. You can think you doing shit. You can share memes. You can share motherfucking tweets and Instagram posts. You can have fucking history lessons. You can watch every motherfucking documentary you find. But if you ain't out here politically, socially, strategically, military, strategizing, you ain't doing shit. And that's something that we all gotta do. I don't give a fuck who you are, top to bottom, inside out, old, young. If you're a black person, you caught up in this struggle, and you got any type of consciousness, you gotta always play the strategy. We gotta have some people out here strategizing socially. You gotta have some people out here strategizing military-wise. Everybody can play a role. We got a seat for everybody. It's like the military. Muhammad Ali said it best. He said in one interview I had seen, he said it's like war. In a war, you got some people who fight the war from the sky, never go to the ground. Fight it from airplanes. It's called the Air Force. You got some people who only fight the war from the sea, fire from the ocean. It's called the Navy. And then you got others who are called soldiers who only fight it from the ground. It's the Army. You put all of this together, the 3, 4, 5 different groups, but they're all working for the same military because they all got a military mind. That's what it's all about. We got a role for every fucking body. The black race has every mentality you can think of. We have every personality you can think of. We got all types of skill sets, all types of perspectives and views. We got some people who are very good in the tech world. They can fight that war from there. We got some people who are real good with finance. They can fight that war from there. You got other people who are just straight riders, who can take this shit to the streets and do what need to be fucking done. Men and women, because we got some women that'll bust your motherfucking head. Trust me when I tell you that. A lot of these women will bust some of these men's heads out here. Facts, and I know some personally. We got warriors on every front. We got men warriors, women warriors. We got men economists, female economists. We got men doctors, women doctors. We got men teachers, women teachers. Each one teach one. We got everything you need. And every last one of those folks I just mentioned, all strategize. All strategize. Put a plan together. Because white folks is coming up with plans every day. Asians are coming up with plans every day. Arabs are coming up with plans every day. They strategize for the future. We out here strategizing for the past. Now notice I said for the past, meaning we're trying to fight a future fight for the past. In reality, you can learn from the past, but you got to apply it to the future. And that's what a lot of us lack. We want to sit down and we want to gain all this knowledge, but we don't want to use this knowledge in strategy. Everything's got to be done from a strategic military aspect. It's called military science. Read the book, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. It breaks it down thoroughly. And once you get an understanding of how the military works, I've been close to the military. I know a lot of people from the military. I've been real close to it. And I understand the one thing they got, lieutenants, colonels, generals, chain of command, all of that shit. That's everything that makes the machine work. And if you take one piece out, the machine don't work properly. You need it all to function. And this is why you have a pecking order, a chain of command. This is why you have military strategists. You got people, like I said before, who are part of all fronts, but operate as one unit. That's what we need. You go back historically and you look at black achievement, and a lot of black folks, all of them had some type of military experience. And mind you, military experience don't just mean battling, like physically with a gun, with a knife, with a sword. No. Military experience is more about a mentality. That's why they say military mind. You got some soldiers who've been in the military their whole life, but they've never picked up a weapon on the battlefield. But guarantee they know how to do it. They know how to place people in position to succeed doing that. You know what I mean? That's called a strategist. It's called a strategist. All those colonels and generals and shit during World War I, World War II, during the Civil War, during the Revolutionary War, a lot of them never even fought. But they put soldiers in position to succeed. They put soldiers in position to fight. That's what it is. You can go all the way back to Africa, the Mandinga tribe, the Ashanti tribe, all the warrior tribes that resisted any type of foreign invasion, from the Arabs to from the Europeans. The women did it, the men did it, and that was on the physical front. Then you can come here to the United States of America, the Revolutionary War. The first people who fought in the Revolutionary War were Africans, were black people. The Civil War. The Civil War was black folks who won the war for us. Black folks did it all from a physical and a mentality standpoint. Strategizing. Everybody played a role, everybody worked as one. Look at some of our revolutions. Because revolutions and revolutionaries, that's just a military mentality. Take Bobby Seale from the Black Panther Party, the creator of the Black Panther Party. He was in the Air Force. Yes, he was. Take Tupac Shakur's godfather, Geronimo Pratt. He was in Vietnam and he was a bad motherfucker. He was doing missions on his own, going behind enemy territory and bringing back intel. That motherfucker was bad. And then when you got here, his father Matulu worked in acupuncture and things like that. He was assisting the war on that front. Geronimo was assisting it on his front. Bobby Seale took a lot of that self-defense and food programs that he learned from the United States Air Force and applied that shit right to the streets of Oakland, California. Because the revolutionary mind is a military mind, and you gotta have it. Take our brother Neely Fuller, the great Neely Fuller. He served in the Korean War. You see a lot of historic black alphas have served in the military, had some type of close connection to the military. Matter of fact, Dr. Umar Johnson, his father was in the Marines. He was a drill instructor. And now whether you served in the motherfucking military, you've been close to the military, or you just understand military tactics, it don't matter because it's all strategy. And that's what these white supremacists been doing. They've been treating this shit out here in these streets like a motherfucking war. And that's the thing. They treat this shit like it's live or die war. We treat this shit like it's a fucking game. They out here strategizing 50 years in the future. White folks right now strategizing, how can my kids get the bag, dominate all the other races, live a comfortable life, have supremacy over everybody. The number one thing of white supremacy is they want to pass down the supremacy. You only do that by strategizing. They trying to set up the future of their kids. You know how you have stocks and bonds for your kids? These motherfuckers have supremacists and bonds for their kids. And that's what the fuck they trying to leave them. While you out here playing games and shit and you ain't trying to leave your kid a fucking dime, these motherfuckers not only trying to leave their kids money, they trying to leave their kids supremacy. Pass that shit down. That's why the motherfucker been around for 400 plus years. Because they've been passing that shit down, passing that shit down, passing that shit down. How do they do that? They only achieve that by strategizing. And that's the game that we gotta get on. Matter of fact, we need to really get on this shit. One is because we some black alphas and we harder than everybody. And two is because they coming at us with the drama, so we need to bring that shit back. Full force. And it ain't just white folks. Every other race is out here trying to figure out a way in the scheme on how their kids can dominate. So I suggest we start coming up with schemes on how our kids is gonna dominate. We can't do this shit that these clown ass civil rights Negroes did, where they left us a bunch of bull. They just quit strategizing. They just gave up and said we just gonna be some suckers. We gonna be some white man bitches and just bow the fuck down. They didn't strategize the goddamn way. They didn't give nothing for us. They didn't prepare us for shit. That's why a lot of kids was walking around here in the 2000s lost as fuck, because the older generation didn't say, hey, look out for that. Hey, watch for this. Hey, they gonna be trying to pull that shit on y'all in the future. If y'all notice right now, in this era, this real era that we in, that we run, you notice that we putting these kids on game. We letting these kids know what to look out for. The generation after this one and the one after that one, oh, they gonna be strong. You goddamn right. They gonna be strong as fuck. Because we setting them up. We setting them up, we teaching them. We teaching them through strategy. We telling them what to look out for. We telling them who they dealing with. So when the motherfucker come, they gonna be ready. They gonna be sitting there pacing on them. And when they get here, they'll be waiting on them. That's how you do it. And we gonna break down some of the strategies that these motherfuckers done did throughout history. We gonna talk about the race baiting, the race cards, the reverse racism. We gonna talk about all that bullshit that they've been trying to use. And all the new bullshit they gonna try to come up with so their kids can have supremacy in the future. Now let's get to the real part. Let's get to the motherfucking fun part. Let's talk about shit that we gonna do. Not can do, not should do, not might do. What the fuck we gonna do? First things first, strategy. We strategize, one, by knowing who the fuck we dealing with. Knowing who the motherfucking enemy is. No mercy. We're gonna identify the motherfucker, and then we're gonna treat that motherfucker with no feelings, no emotions. Cold blood. We gonna give to them the same thing they give to us. Straight up. That's number one. Treat these motherfuckers how they act. And how they act is like some bitches, so we gonna treat them like some bitches. Some $2 hoes. Yes, indeed. That's number one. Two, fuck uniting. We gonna galvanize. Galvanize the fucking people. Get the people all on one accord. Through a commonality, you straight. All that, we need to get together and unify. Every last human being on the earth is black. Now fuck that. We're gonna galvanize the troops and soldiers and rock. Like I said, everybody that needs to be a soldier is already a soldier. Everybody who's down to fight is already fighting. So all I'm gonna do is go and pick them. Oh, you like to scrap? Come on over. Oh, you fight? Come on over. Oh, you don't take no bullshit? Come on over. All the hoe ass niggas go that way, all the real niggas this way. That right there. Get together socially, start divvying shit up. Oh, you a good motherfucker with money? You do the economics. Oh, you a good motherfucker at fighting? Then you do the fighting. You good with tech, computers, health, politics? Good, we got a place for you. Simple as that. Coalitions, team the fuck up. All that shit can be done. These are small, simple strategies. Find out who's useful for the movement, use them. Find out who's a problem to the movement, get them the fuck out of Dodge. Anything that's a problem, treat it with no mercy, you'll be fine. It's when you start playing with enemies, is when your ass gets fucked over. So hey, if you down for the cause, ride. If you against the cause, smash. Take the Haitian Revolution. You had people who all played different roles. You had the women who handled certain areas. You had the men who handled certain areas. You had the elders who did certain things. And what they do, the motherfuckers conquered them white slums. Whoop their ass. Everybody played a role. That right there is it. That right there is what the fuck we on. And that's what we gonna do. Strategize. So we beat their ass today and we can beat their ass tomorrow. And at the end of the day, the black alphas will be on top. Because when you in a race war, you gotta have a military mind and you better strategize. Now let's look at some history of some of the supremacist slang. Take race card. That's supremacist slang. The race card was invented in the 1980s, late 1980s, more so closer to the early 90s. If you go back and you listen to a Martin Luther King speech or a Stokely Carmichael speech or a Malcolm X speech and you start talking that race card shit, they don't even know what the fuck that is. They never mentioned none of that. There's not one speech from any of our leaders from back then where they mentioned the race card. If you said the race card, they think you talking about playing cards. They didn't know what the fuck that was. That was white supremacist slang evolving. White people went back to what I call the supremacist drawing board. They went back into the white supremacist playbook. You see how I got words for their ass? Yeah. We get busy over here too. Real motherfucking busy. Better than them. Trust me. Now, you see how they went into the supremacist playbook, said let's come up with a word to where now we can flip racism on black folks. See, we got too exposed as being these slum racist ass white supremacists that they are. And all of a sudden, the spotlight was beaming on them a little too bright. So white folks do what they always do. They share and spread the blame. White people don't want to share anything but the blame. That's the only thing in this whole fucking world they want to share. Do they want to share resources? Hell no, they'll kill for that. Do they want to share tangibles? Hell no, they'll kill for that. Hell, they'll kill anybody, including themselves, for that shit. Because they were strategizing. These white motherfuckers was on their supremacist code, on their supremacist game, and they was trying to find new ways that they could succeed over us. Because they was getting a little too exposed in the 60s and 70s. So they start saying, you're playing the race card. You're playing the race card. Oh, you're race baiting. Remember that one? You're race baiting. Race baiting, like what the fuck is that? What the fuck is the race card? You know what I mean? Niggas try to hit me with the race card shit. They say, you're playing the race card. I said, no, but you playing the bitch. You playing the inbred. You playing the meth addict, trailer trash. Oh, let me guess, you ain't playing. You really is doing that shit, ain't you? And them motherfuckers get mad. They be like, fuck you. Then they go home and they slap their wife and kick their kids and shit. Do his Toby Keith CD at that bitch. Hit that bitch with a bowl of mashed potatoes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, whenever a black person checks a white motherfucker, they go home and beat their family. So if you see a white hoe go to work the next day and she got a busted eye and a swollen lip, it's probably because some black man checked the husband and he went home and took that shit out on her. We kind of responsible for white on white crime in that way. Thank you, I appreciate it. But that's what they came up with. Race baiting, race card. Nobody ever spoke about that shit in the 1960s and 70s. You can't find me one speech where they was talking about that because that's new shit. That's new white supremacist shit that they came up with. Just like POC. POC is a relatively new term they come up with. Yeah, oh yeah, guaranteed. That's not no term. You never hear no motherfucker talking about POC in the 80s. No one talk that shit. You rarely even heard that shit in the 90s. As a matter of fact, I don't really ever recall hearing that in the 90s. I think that's a 2000s thing. And we living in the 2000s, so it just shows you every day white folks are coming up with new plans, new games, new tricks. The KKK will classify themselves now as the Proud Boys, the Bungaloo Boys, the motherfucking Trailer Park Boys, the Meth Head Boys. I mean, they always coming up with new words and new tactics, because that's where they like to beat you at. Once again, they don't want no smoke in real life. So therefore, they got to try to hit you on some wordplay shit. They're going to find other little outlets to try to win. Because they know physically, it's not happening. So they got to find a little sneaky snake shit because they some slum motherfuckers. And that's what they be on. Black folks got to strategize and have a military mind. You cannot have a military mind if you don't strategize. That's what it's all about. Because I don't know about nobody else, but us certifieds, we going to be good. We going to be straight. 24/7, 365. So when that spotlight was beaming on these motherfuckers and they was exposed and they was looking funny in the light, they said, how can we flip it on somebody? How can we do racism projection? All of a sudden they say, well, let's play the race card. Yeah, Let's say that anytime someone calls us racist, they're playing the race card. So they're just making it up and it isn't true. Basically, they're just being niggers who are complaining. That's basically what the race card means, just niggers who are complaining. Then they start saying shit, hey, you're playing the race card, Marquise. I mean, the cop just shot a motherfucker in the head for no reason at all, an unarmed man, but you're playing the race card. I mean, yeah, black folks have been killed for 400 years, and they killed a nigga yesterday down the street for no apparent reason, but you're playing the race card. And black folks was getting served with that shit in the early 2000s. Niggas didn't know what to do, because niggas was still operating off 1960. Niggas was still out here talking about some, one day, my child will have a kid with a white woman. Black folks was still on that Martin Luther King shit. They was so fucking outdated. Black folks was going to war in the fucking Iraq war using Civil War weapons. Niggas was using the little rifle nigga that you had to put the stick in and one shot. They didn't even have semi-automatics. White folks was pulling up nigga with tanks and motherfucking jets and dropping bombs and using fucking AKs and AR-15. Black folks was running around as motherfuckers with muskets and shit. Like this was goddamn the Revolutionary War, nigga, like the goddamn British were coming. I'm talking about outdated as a fuck. And you was trying to use that NAACP shit from way the fuck back when against these white supremacists today. What I call the futuristic white supremacists, which is modern white supremacy. And that shit's growing every day. And trust me, they teaching their kids right now new shit in the future. That's why you gotta keep strategizing. That's why you gotta get on that Black Alpha certified shit. And you gotta strategize your motherfucking self. And we're gonna be some battling motherfuckers up in here, and I guarantee you our shit win. So we gotta come up with our own shit. We gotta come up with our own motherfucking terms. And when we use our shit will destroy their shit. Cause it's all about strategy, race strategy. First you get the military mind, and then you take it to the battlefield and you whoop their motherfucking ass. You can't be in a race war if you ain't got the soldiers. And if you got the soldiers, you gotta have the strategy. A soldier without a strategy don't mean shit, and strategy without soldiers don't mean nothing. Black folks, we got every single mentality, we got every single mind state, personality, we got all types of soldiers to do everything that we need to get done. Guarantee you that. So you get your hard hat, you lace your motherfucking boots up, you load that thing up, and you let it go, and we'll win every single motherfucking time. Cause remember, these motherfuckers is plotting on us every day. These motherfuckers wake up and go to sleep, think about how they're gonna serve black folks, think about how they're gonna oppress black folks, attack black folks, trick black folks every single day. And I'm talking about white folks, I'm talking about Asians, I'm talking about Arabs, I'm talking about everybody. Alright? Motherfuckers is scared of us, motherfuckers wanna replace us, they want what we got, and they really wanna be us. And they know they can't do that. So the only way they can be us is by trying to remove us. We don't sit here and say these white folks run around with race soldiers, and these Asians run around here with race soldiers, and they shooting black folks, beating black folks up. They got race soldiers who serve oppression, who serve to oppress other folks, and we got warriors who ain't let none of that shit go down that way. Too motherfucking strong. That's a hard fact. If you turn on the news right now, any media outlet, you're starting to see stories about Asians being attacked by black folks. They're trying to make up some stuff. They're trying to make up false claims against black folks, and they ain't doing that shit because it's real, because it ain't real. In reality, Asians have been harming black folks for years. For years. Rest in peace, little Natasha. March 16th, 1991. Go look that up. So Asians have been attacking us for years. But what are they doing now? All of a sudden, they're trying to make black folks the face of attacking Asians. They're trying to flip it on us. Why? It's because they strategizing. I told you, they think years in advance. They're already laying down the seeds for them to justify future attacks on us. That's called race strategizing. That's how these other groups and these other communities, race soldiers, operate. They come up with false claims against black folks a few years in advance, and then they play that shit out on the battlefield, and then they start to attack us. With the help of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, by the way. See, Joe Biden on day one, with the help of Kamala, the Asian woman, I told y'all, go listen to my Cop Allah episode. I broke her sorry ass down to the floor, where her knees are, by the way, with that white man dick in her mouth. But after she stood up and got back on her feet, after wiping her mouth from Joe Biden's dick, they got together and wrote an anti-Asian crime bill, and basically are targeting black folks. But I want y'all to remember this. All that shit about us attacking them, that's the lie. That's the justification. So this ain't a law to protect Asians. This is a law to greenlight Asians attacking black people. And they come up with these plans in advance, real detail, because they're race strategizing. That's what the fuck they do. And that's just one example, and that's just one group. But remember, the Arabs, the Hispanics, the whites, the Asians, all the motherfuckers collectively or separately are all strategizing against black folk. So the more they strategize, the more we get on this warrior shit, the more they come at us on that bullshit, the more we get on this gangster shit, and we let them know what time it is. Certified Black Society ain't for play. So you come run up. you get done up. Yes, indeed. Now, that's today's episode. Race strategy, race war. Make sure you get on game. Make sure you and your homeboys, homegirls chop it up. Y'all all strategize. Come get with us. We'll do the same thing. And we'll build this motherfucker all the way to the top. And we'll knock these motherfuckers down one by one if we got to. Because we are the best. Facts on facts. All right, make sure you subscribe. Black Alpha Network, Black Alpha 6. We on fire. They can't put us out. Ain't no motherfucking way. Catch y'all all on the other side. Stay safe out there. And I'm going to do the same thing. One love.
That's our motto. We want freedom by any means necessary.
Hell, I might be anywhere, but when I leave, you can remember I said, with the last words on